Hello everyone, am I here? Actually, 1 second please. Whew. Much better. So, hello everyone, am I here and welcome to another episode of Road to Max Damage, where we try and hit the damage cap using mesos only and all that shenanigans. I'm 230 now. Well, what do you know? Well, you know what this means. I finally get another slot in the V Matrix, so I actually have a little bit more leeway with what I get to put in it or not. I think using 4 slots for boost builds is a definite long-term investment, but it's going to pay off very, very soon. But the real grind starts now. Once you hit to level 230, your XP curve just shoots up straight into the sky. And what you thought was going to be 1% in 1 minute now turns into like 5 minutes or worse. So with my dashingly new emo hairstyle, which by the way I actually got it. I actually got overgrown. I've actually wanted it for a while, just because I wanted it to be super edgy, instead of just using Metro hairstyle. Like if you look at this, and then you look at this, there's not too big of a difference. It's like, I don't know, a month in terms of growing your hair out maybe? No, that goes all the way down to your neck. That's gonna take more than a month. Either way, I got it from that weekend hot day, so thank you, Nexon. Thank you, RNG. Well, in my almost 2-hour grind, I managed to get 4 Arcana symbols. I started with 219, so that's 54 node stones. A bunch of all this random recipe junk. What on earth? A lot of potions, actually. Past 1k, 1.3k, that's amazing. And I also got 3 droplet stones. Well, I've accomplished what I needed to do before Morass comes for 2 main reasons. I just mentioned one, Morass. And the other one is I finally am doing 100% damage to Lucid. I felt like, you know, if I'm actually going to be in a Lucid party, I might as well try and contribute more properly. And, oh, right, I also got 2 more golden hammers or something like that. Oh, what's this? A level 230 reward for reward points? What do I get? 600? Wow! 60 cents! Amazing! Thank you, Nexon. You're so generous. Alright, I am preparing for my last big purchase of the year, I think. I spent a lot of time talking to a guy who was selling one-handed primes. Initially, he was going to sell them for USD, but I convinced him to sell it for Meso. It's totaling to around like 27 billish. He has 9 one-handed primes, and we agreed to sell. He agreed to sell it to me for 2.7 bill a piece. So times 9 is 24.3. And then I'm going to pick up the last one in auction house, which is around 2.9, so then that will total to 27.2. Okay, so yeah, 27 bill just to get the primes. I have the money for it, but I'm trying to get a voucher from Studio since I was in there before. Unfortunately, I can't really get a hold of anyone. I'm freaking retarded. I was going through the motions of finding a voucher, and then I realized, wait a minute, I don't need a voucher, I'm just buying primes. I'm so used to buying things over freaking 10 bill that it just automatically went into my head. Oh man, okay, well, that makes everything so much easier then. Alright, so these are one-handed primes, so let's pick one up, BRB. Getting the last one over here. And finally pick you up. I was extremely paranoid when I was looking at these primes, because I was like, oh man, are they duped, are they not? BRB for mesos. I had to check a lot, and he said he got them from Marvel, so I trust him. Just the thought process of deciding whether or not to buy those primes was like a huge burden on me. Yoink. Pick up you. Grab. And the last one right here. To you very much. Alright, so there we go. That was 24.3 bill right there. The money just goes really quickly. Like I said before. Zoop. Zoop. And now finally, the last one. Last chance to bid. I hope these aren't duped, but all good. Anywho, finally, 10 one-handed primes. I was gonna wait till Marvel, but I just couldn't resist getting them already. So they're staying in storage until I get my arcane weapon, but that's a bunch of shopping already done. On my next shopping list is probably some no booms and other primes as well. I'm just really wanting to wait for Marvel. Unfortunately, it wasn't announced on this event list. You can typically tell when there's a Marvel if you look for the Tinker's Box event, because that's usually when Marvel is out, is when the Tinker's box quests are also out. So I typically use that to check. But since there isn't any Tinker's Box event going on here, then it would be safe to assume that there is no Marvel for the rest of the year. So that's why I decided, well, I might as well pick up the 100 primes for my arcane weapon and worry about everything else when Marvel comes out then. Well, it's the month of December, and there's only one thing on my mind usually around this time of the year, and that is Double Miracle time. I'm probably only going to pick a small handful of things, so that would be the B pot of this, and the main pot, and maybe the B pot of the pants. It will have to depend on how many cubes I have left over after. My budget for Double Miracle time this time around is significantly much less than before, just simply because I'm not really worried about trying to tier up these other things just yet. I'm more concerned about 10-starring my Tyrants and finding 3-line strength, 27% strength for higher main pots on my armors. In a perfect world, I would probably roll 3-line strength on this pair of Sweetwater tattoos, which will result in me B-potting and trying to tier up the B-pot onto the Sweetwater tattoo as well. And that will complete my entire collection for accessories that are 3-line. And then that also will result in me wanting to tier the main pot of this tattoo up and seeing if I get 3-line as well. I'm trying to be super cautious with the Sweetwater accessories because you can't trade them. So what if accidentally, like out of pure coincidence, I roll 33% strength main pot while I'm trying to cube for drop rate, right? So if that happens, then I would have two 33% main pot strength Sweetwater monocles, and I wouldn't be able to sell one of them. But for the time being, this still hasn't been equipped yet, and I really want to see if that will end up being the case. Unfortunately, it all depends on me finishing up the Sweetwater tattoo first because I'm prioritizing all my cubes there. And yeah, I really can't decide if I should just make a new set of Tyrants and then cube for that and then just swap that out and then just sell the old pair of Tyrants. I'm not replacing the gloves, however. The gloves are way too expensive to do it all over again, but maybe the Tyrant Cape and the boots. I'm not entirely sure. This is why I'm very concerned. I can't decide whether or not getting a new cape and a new boot and just cube the whole thing clean for 3-line strength would be better than to just, you know, cube over my 21s. Because just like what happened with this belt, I just randomly got it from a cube donated to me by Matt Misusing TV. So it could happen again on these. The question is, am I willing to give up 21% strength for it? Or do I want to just start from scratch? Well, that is for me to figure out until Double Miracle time happens. One more thing I want to complete before the end of 2017, though. One thing. Let me just pull up the map. Momji Gaioka. So, there's these secondaries in the game, right? And they're considered best in slot. They are the Princess No secondaries. They're marginally better than, what is it? The secondary shop seller. If, hold on, let me go back to town. Is there a secondary seller here? Let's see. No, just a bunch of Japanese icons. Well, since I have a hyper teleport rock from the coin shop, I might as well just use it to its fullest extent here. Let's head over to the secondary seller. We can look at the Night Lord secondary. So if you look at the stats, it's 10 stat, 3 attack. And if you go over to FM... Oh, wait. My Wolf is out. Oh, I don't want to close Wolf, and I don't want to... Hold on. I got to relog. Alright, there we go. I'm going to head over to FM. And where is my owl? Okay, so if we search up Princess Nose, and then I believe we can search up Charm. Yeah, so if you look at that, you get 14 stat and 9 attack. So it's like marginally better, and so therefore it is best in slot. So a lot of people would go bonkers for it. And the last time I checked the prices of those, they go for a pretty nice amount. And I want to try and get my hands on that. Whoa. You okay there, Celadrix? Whee! The whole reason why I gave this elongated introduction to Princess No is for the viewers that may not be familiar with it, because it is sort of an arbitrary improvement in terms of best in slot in comparison. Because Princess No secondaries are not that much better, but it is better enough for some people to be crazy about it. The thing is, I actually never completed the pre-quest for Princess No, and I do have a couple of friends who run it, and I'm interested in participating in these runs. So, as a before the end of the year resolution, I'm going to quickly complete this right now. One enemy, 3 attacks, boss damage. Whoa. That's so cool. What does it look like? You cannot use that skill on this map. I cannot use that. Gosh darn it! Okay, surely I can use it here, right? No. Maybe it's just usable only in the Princess No dungeon. Something interesting happened. I was browsing FM and I found a certain pair of warrior pants that intrigued me. And turns out the seller was a friend of someone who knows of me in a sort of sense, like really weird, arbitrary way. So through that person that knew me, I managed to get a hold of the pants, as in, they were gonna sell to me, but this is just very complicated. Anyways, in the end, I'm actually gonna be getting my hands on a pair of clean legendary warrior pants. from this guy, and we've agreed to the price of max meso. So that's very, very fantastic, because then I don't have to stress out about double miracle time, and I can get rid of my old pair of pants. Oh, actually, got some stuff from training. Where did it go? Oh, here it is. Okay. So I'm actually just on my way to meet up with the person here to buy the pair of pants. Alright, so this is the purchase. It's tradable, which is the most important part of the thing. So, wait, how did I lose 3k? Oh, it must have been when I took out the items from storage. Oops. This will fix it. Perfect. So there we go. This is the pair of pants I will be getting. Perfect, right there. It looks really nice. And I'm going to say TY very much. So instead of cubing this pair of pants, I'm going to resell them now. And I'm going to be cubing this pair of pants now. I'm in the middle of setting shop, but I wanted to share a little something. This is the sort of stuff that you don't really get to see on camera, but I was I was just looking through items in the FM. And, oh, it's right here. There's a shop right here where it said, Meso only, leave offers, and I peeked my head in there. There was a 27% Tyrant Hades boots, main pot, 9-star, and I was like, oh my god, I have to jump in on that. And there was also like a drop strength pendant in there, and my eyes just lit up, and I got really excited. I started leaving offers, and I saw the IGN, and I was like, hey, does anyone know this IGN? And people are like, yeah, he's not legit. So, like, I'm scrolling through my chat, if you can see, like, ever so the slight little discussions here. So, yeah, that's sort of the struggle in there that you don't really get to see. So I thought I would share. Shout out to Lawrence, by the way. He's the one that immediately identified the IGN as a scammer and a hacker, I believe. It may not be 100% truth, but the merit from these people and how much I trust them and their word is just basically why I really love playing this game a lot. Ooh, right, I gotta sell these now. Let's just try 2.5. Well, shop's up. I'm heading to bed. Good night. See you next clip. Alright, I'm stringing him along, but the minute he gives a huge red flag, I'm just going to pull out of the trades. But I left offers, and he seems a little bit too eager for my offers, so that's already a red flag. But I'll see how it goes. If he doesn't go first, then that's probably going to be the time when I will pull out. But hey, Nexon actually provided compensation for that stacked up hyper teleport rock. That's actually pretty decent. I'll give that to you, Nexon. It looks good in my inventory though, right? These are very helpful, really. But it's a luxury item, so maybe after I finish my arcane weapon, then I'll go for like the hyper teleport rocks and the permanent pendant slots, just because a long way to go though. This, ladies and gentlemen, is why you hold on to a lot of things for a very long time, so that you can earn random pieces of meso for no good reason. I almost forgot I had these Futuroid parts in my inventory. But since I saved them, I just earned 100 mil just for that, so remember to save things, guys. Don't just throw them out. Alright, I did a second round of checks with this guy. And not only have I heard that this guy scams, but he also dupes. So that's a really big no-no. However, I did get some information from a guildmate saying that you can actually ask Nexon to check out the item if it's duped or not, or something like that, which to me is very surprising. And that's exciting to me because this is new information and that I'm learning something. And I want to see if this is true. So I want to find where this store is now, since we just went through a minor maintenance. Oh, right, here they are. So right here, we hop over to the shop, and this was the shop I was talking about earlier, by the way. So if you look at it, it looks sort of legit, but then I see like all of these Fafnir risk coders, like maybe these were like bought cubed or whatever. So this is the pendant I'm interested in buying. I'm also interested in buying this pair of boots. If I buy this, all I would have to do is I would skip icogging. I would just prime that instead, and then all I would have to do is replace the neb and B-pot it, and that would save me so much stress, and I would rather pay Meso for it. But if these are duped, then that mitigates everything, which is upsetting to me because I really, really want this stuff. So this is what I'm gonna do. I already told the guy I want a couple days to think about it, and I'm gonna go file a ticket. I'm gonna see if this is true, see if a GM will actually check the item for me, and I will have to get back to you guys in a little bit then. Alright, well, I just spoke with live chat, and it turns out that you can actually submit a support ticket to check the legitimacy of items, which is wonderful. I don't necessarily think that the items in that shop are duped, but I have been told that if certain items were stolen or whatever and it somehow gets over to your hands, then there's a chance that I could be in trouble, for lack of a better word. The reason why I'm not necessarily too worried about dupes and more worried about the seller being someone who just scammed other people and is reselling the stuff back, and because the thing is, Nexon can check that, and if it somehow ends up in my hands, then that's not good at all. Which, this really sucks because I never had to worry about this before until now. But back to my original thing that I wanted to talk about. I'm not worried about dupes necessarily because... whoa, where did they go? Oh, I get it. Oops, I completely forgot I left the support chat open. I'm currently looking for some no booms and wondering if I should purchase them. The reason why I was talking about not worrying about dupes was because apparently, according to guildmates, friends, and other sources that are reliable, that they did a clean sweep of dupes, and people haven't reported that certain items got removed and all that. So I think it's safe to assume that there aren't any dupes going around right now. The other thing is I bought all those nebs, right? And then they had that Black Friday sale and all the all-stat nebs that were legit dropped down to like 3.5 bill, so that was really unfortunate timing from me. A bunch of other things dropped a bit in price too, so that's just really unfortunate on my end, but it's whatever. None of my nebs actually got deleted, so that's very good. And I'm very, very sorry, Danny, if you're watching this, that I ever doubted the nebs in your inventory. Here's my nebs. Still got 5 strengths and 2 all stats. I'm still holding on to my 2 no booms that I got, so those were legit too. This is my next red flag, by the way. That they're dropping the price for me to try and buy it. I'm gonna try and keep stalling until the ticket comes back. Lots of red flags going off, but still waiting for the ticket to come back. If the support ticket does come back and say that they are in fact legit, not stolen, etc., etc., then I am hightailing it to the boots, and I'm just gonna forget about the pendant for the time being. But now that means I'm in a little bit of a predicament, which because I need to make... oh man, I need to make 40 bill. This is going to be decently possible to make 40 bill in about 2 or 3 days if I get super lucky. But if I want to do it the way I usually do it with making Meso, then it's probably going to take me a couple weeks or even longer. Way longer, because I'm starting to run out of things to sell, so looks like we got a Meso episode coming along, if the items are legit, that is. Alright, this is the cube. This is the cube to resolve all my financial situations right now. With this one cube, I'm going to be able to get So much money! Let's do this! Ah, darn it. So because of that Tyrant boot being 70 bill, if the guy tries to scam me, I would not like that. And I still really want to get my hands on that Tyrant boot, as desperately as that sounds. But the foolproof way is to do one trade and one trade only. And by purchasing no booms, I can use those to trade instead. So I will be buying all 3 of them from my friend. Into storage you go. Now I have 5 no booms. Don't know if I want to use the 2 original no booms I have as part of the trade. I am pretty tight on money. So I really have to figure out how to make with maybe 30-ish bill. So yeah, that's a little bit stressful to think about. PSA from Amite: if you see a person that's selling an elite drop that's slightly more expensive than the bot shop, support their shop instead. You might have to spend an extra couple trips going around the FM, but at least the money's going to a good cause. Well, I don't have much left to do for the next while, except for meso making, so let's end the episode by, well, doing a Lucid run. Heroes got some really nice buffs in the new patch, with Enrage getting more crit damage and Puncture getting more damage on crit. There's actually a difference between the two. Could you believe that? So with the changes in those buffs and the recent addition to my Arcane Force, I would like to see if I am actually doing viable damage to Lucid. So hope you enjoy. Next episode, I probably will try to do meso-related things. I haven't been the biggest fan of doing them because of some certain things that have happened recently. I don't really want to talk about it too much, but if people really like the meso episodes, then so be it. But I've already mentioned before that, much like the majority of Road to Max Damage nowadays, for me, it's gonna be super repetitive, because that's the only thing I can do right now, is just really repetitive things. But since it's so popular, I guess I will appeal to the masses or whatever. Still, I do want to say this again. I don't want people copying exactly action by action, movement by movement, on what item by item, on what to do when making meso. I make the things I make, I sell the things I sell, and I farm the things I farm because it works for me. If you're in a completely different situation, most of the stuff I do is probably not viable, and it will probably hurt you even more if you try to copy me. Anyways, time to run Lucid! Putting me in this dilemma now. Oh.
Yay!
You got it?
Yep.
Yay!
Spicy. Thank you. Yay! Got 2 again this week, so this is getting really consistent, so that means I'm halfway there. Another 6 more weeks to go, and then I will get my arcane weapon, which is a wonderful feeling. Oh man. I actually want to see how much is the Lucid crystal worth on a full party. But the fight I saw consistently, like anywhere between 600 mil to 1 bill. Oh, it's worth 4 mil. That's alright, I guess. Well, either way, thank you so much for watching this episode of Road to Max Damage. I hope to see you next time. Bye bye!